I'm gonna warn everybody, the voice is decimated. Really not good. There's a reason for the no shows. Also, the white balance is all off. We're having a real slew of technical difficulties that I will get into tonight, but we are doing a special midnight show. Didn't want to put it off for you people, but you know, it's hot back here in New York City, and have to keep it cool. So we're only doing midnight shows. And if you don't want to be on a podcast at midnight, you don't want to be my friend. So stay out of my life. Come get your keys and pick up most of your lotion. Braving the heat of the night, it's Hesky.
Yeah, this is good. It's another episode where you get to watch me sweat.
We got your paper towels out.
I do. I'm very southern
so you can
gentleman.
dab. I'm just gonna sweat. I'm just gonna let it happen.
That's good.
Go into it.
That's
you
smart.
may notice my voice is subpar,
No,
as the children would say.
It's great.
Hold on, let me do some weed.
That'll help. That always helps, right? If you just
What's up with you?
What's up with me? My voice is actually great. Like look, I can hit all the deep notes, and I can get up here. Like if I want to do a silly voice later that's higher, I can do that because I didn't ruin my voice by doing comedy.
Please don't do silly voices. We've gotten a lot of mail on that.
Sorry,
mail. Real mail.
Yeah, just actual mail. No, everything's good. I'm off work for the next 4 weeks.
What is that like?
It's great.
You're pretty much a teacher.
Sort of, yeah, like a life teacher. I'm a life coach.
You're on beers tonight?
Yeah, I'm on beers tonight.
What are you drinking? Two-headed ale?
Two-hearted. Bell's
Two
Bell's two heart.
Two heads. If you
hearts.
have two hearts, you probably have two heads.
Well, doctors say that my heart
we're gonna
is
get
large.
into what doctors say on this show
it's
now?
the size of two
Okay.
hearts. So
When have we ever
Because I love
delved
so
into
much.
doctor talk?
well,
No, I'm interested
you
in
just
it.
never asked.
Why do you have that mic aimed like a retard? Like, straighten it out a little. You're a little weird tonight.
All right.
Hesky, fix your tits. Why would you? No. Why would you adopt that as a slogan to yourself? A mantra, if you will.
We're getting ready to shoot.
Shoot.
Yeah, we're
we
going to
shoot here.
Yeah, so this is quiet.
Like over at
Get
Neil
the- if-
deGrasse Tyson's board court.
We're getting ready to record, and you just said, Hesky, fix your tits. And I looked, and like my shirt had gotten tucked underneath my tits. And now every
Well, it
morning
happens
when I
every
get ready,
fat guy.
I just
You gotta keep it out.
But they got all the way
Sucks
in.
in because of the sweat.
Yeah, that's where all of my sweat
A
glands
lot of you
are.
ladies have nips that lactate over here.
under
Bleach.
tit, and it creates a vacuum.
So I'll get into my voice. What's wrong with that in a minute?
Yeah, you should talk a lot about
Right before the show started, my iMac died. So now we have a dead iMac. I'm doing all the show from a PC and a Mac Mini, which is why we use so many computers over here. We have redundancy,
it. Yeah, there are 41 computers,
which is also why it's so hot. You know, it's not bad outside.
no.
I already hate
It
my
probably
voice.
isn't even that hot. We are just fat fucks.
I already hate the voice, but I'm just gonna do it.
Do you know
This
what's
is-
worse than your voice? My voice.
I disagree. I think you have a sultry baritone.
It's nice, right? When I get down,
I was thinking about hiring you to do some phone sex work.
that's good. I'd be into
Could
that.
we set
I'm
that
up.
hotline up?
I'm up. I'm off for 4 or 5 weeks.
Could
Yes.
we, please, somebody figure out how these answering services work? We want a choose your own adventure type deal.
And here's how it'll work. It'll go directly to my cell phone, and I have to pick it up no matter where I am.
You just have to do it
I'm
real and live.
Just out shopping or whatever.
I was
'Cause
thinking we have.
I go shopping.
I was thinking we had pre-recorded responses, like an adventure tree,
Ooh.
like a choose your own adventure.
Press 1 if you want me to spank you. Press 2.
And guess what? Over our system, you can't go back and cheat. When
There's
you're
no
dead,
flipping ahead.
when you're dead, aka when you have to go home with Hesky.
Yeah. Oh, you let me be on top. You died.
Yep.
You got crushed to death.
We are selling Hesky, who says fix your tits shirts.
Fix your tits, Hesky.
Only in sizes 5X and up.
Oh, that hurts.
No, not for you.
Yeah. But
This is the kind of people who needs constant reminding about tit adjustments. So we're working cripple with the compute. We have some issues tonight. Music issues. No calls. Skype is on that computer. And it's all wired, with a mix minus.
So it's
all
just
so they
us.
can't hear themselves.
No music, just us.
We can have a little bit of. I don't have a soundboard, which is the crux of my comedy.
Right.
Yeah, I'm always doing bits. Playing Butch Bradley clips.
We just need a system of hand signals so that I just go hot shit or whichever one you want. Some Navy SEAL things, or we can just have quiet time for a little bit.
Yeah,
that was
I would
good. A little
appreciate
good
that.
pause.
Right
just
about.
a little bit of.
Let
everybody think about what they've done.
I had lined up guests to do 3 shows in Florida. I was there 10 days. And people will say, Patrick, you've lost it. You don't do shows. I was living. But 4 days into
in
it.
Florida.
4 days into it. So I was there 10 days, 10 nights. And I did 13 shows.
And a lot of those were hours, right?
Headlined some, featured most. Featured a week at the Improv for Jenny Zagrino, who's an up-and-coming comic. I guess she has a half hour coming out later this year.
All right, cool, good.
I guess it was her first. I think she's one of her first improv she's ever headlined. She was a real treat. I'll tell you this. One of these feminist comics, up there with
good fit with
bleeding. No, we got along great. She's really great.
Yeah.
We got high together. She got her cramps mid show, which I liked. There was a terrorist attack in London while she was on stage, and I ran up to tell her. Can you imagine? Your feature.
Yeah. You just go up and just whisper, there was a terror attack in London. Talk about it. Do something funny with it.
Wes, save that comment. We'll get to all that. Welcome to the chat, everybody. Hi, chat. We're on Facebook Live again today. We're seeing how that works. But long story short, plan to do all these shows. Didn't. Jenny Zagrino is going to be in New York Friday. We're going to get her on. She's driving. Girls. She's coming straight from the airport to do a show.
Nice.
So that'll be a real treat. We got Allie Breen coming on as well. We haven't had her on in fucking forever. Do you know Allie?
I just know of her. I don't know her personally. I don't know anybody.
Just say you don't.
So
So
I'm
I'm going to make it up to you this week with shows. But when you tell people, now James and I have hung out a few nights here and out and about in comedy bars and such.
Yes, I guess, but more. I wish it was.
But I will tell you that. Well, first of all, you never call. I'll tell you this. People have this idea of comedy. Maybe now people have kind of 2 ideas of comedy. You're either just a bored, lonely loser. Put your hand down.
Okay.
Or, I think people, there's this show on Showtime now. I'm Dying Up Here.
Oh, yeah.
Which is pretty good.
I can't watch it.
Why?
I can't watch a drama about comedy. I think
there's some comedy in it. It's a dramedy.
I can't watch Crashing either. I can't watch comedy or drama about comedy. It's like that's not
too real, too soon.
It's just that's not what we're there for. I mean, if there's some movie about a person who's a comedian, that could be interesting. But when it's like, hey, this is
you're talking like Man on the Moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I loved Man on the Moon.
Is whiskey good for your throat?
Sure.
I'm drinking. I have a lot of vodka, but tonight I'm drinking airplane bottles of. You fly internationally, like you talk to these pilotresses, and they give you. They'll just hand me bottle. I'm like, I'm not drinking on the flight. They're like, put them in your coat.
Are all the stewardesses
old
Jewish ladies?
Yeah, of course.
And you know what? You're hungry. Why don't you eat something? You gotta eat something. You
This is
famished.
between me, you, and the captain. And I ain't talking about the one flying the plane. Morgan. She over-explains it.
Oh, I love old Jewish ladies.
So I'm drinking this because it's the only brown liquor in the house. So salut and cheers to that. You're doing the two-headed hearts.
Yep.
And the head hearty ale.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Because
so
I need the carbs. My doctor said more carbs, more alcohol.
So I'm working with this chick, Jenny Zagrino. By the way, I leave JFK. I'm the only guy. I am the only guy.
Just the only guy.
I get sat next to this. I pull this move. And this is from my big fat old days of 400 in your.
Oh, yeah, those days.
I do this move. We never had to do the buy an extra seat. Plenty of need the seatbelt extender days. It's so nice now. I get in the seat and it's a little loose. Mm-hmm. People don't stare at me for muffin topping over into their area.
Yeah, I was just shy of needing the seatbelt extender at my heaviest. It was like it would fit, but it would cut off circulation to my legs, and I would just take it because I'm like, I'm not getting the seatbelt extender.
Or you would just be embarrassed and not buckle it. Be like, first of all, I got to call, what is this belt doing? This might be an old comedian bit, but, the plane hits water or land, but I was belted in. Like, what? So let's get over the belt.
Yeah, you were doing a bit, and I was just going to ruin it. I was going to ruin it with
facts. Well, there was the flight to Hawaii where part of the fuselage gets ripped off, and one of the flight attendants got sucked out. Now, that's an argument. They always tell you, if you're seated...
That really happened?
Oh, yeah.
I just figured that was a thing that I... panicked about.
No, that happened.
Do you know what I do as we're coming in?
But she was the only one injured. Oh, yeah. She was the only one injured because everybody else. If you have your seatbelt on, you're not getting sucked out.
Right.
So that is an argument. And by the way, who are these rebels not buckling the seatbelt while you're seated? Just buckle it. What's wrong with you? Your mom called. When I could barely get it in. When I could barely have sex, I would. If I got up to go to the bathroom, can't imagine.
I would come back. Yeah, I would come back and I'd be like, I'm gonna have to lean into this guy if I want to buckle it, or I could just pretend. What I do as we're coming into land, and this is so dumb, but as we're coming into land, we're still, I don't know, probably 10,000 feet off the ground, but you can start to see the ground. I look out the window and I look for bodies of water, even like pools. And I'm like, if I get sucked out of this airplane, that's what
you're gonna jump.
No, it's like if I get sucked out, I'm like, I'll try
you're
aim
gonna
for that body of water.
Flying squirrel. You're fat.
Yeah, I've lost enough weight that I have a little loose skin. I could use that.
Use it. What do you
to create a
fucking organic flap. MacGyver?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
with only his nipples and side fat.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to create
I'll fly into an above ground pool and die there.
He actually landed smoother than the plane, which was the point. Here, speaking of this, I'll get back to the story in a minute of Florida, because banana nut bread. That's what I like telling people. It gives them a tease. It's like it's coming up and it's fun. This is footage from an AirAsia flight where they were flying and they lost an engine 90 minutes out over the water or something. And the pilot comes on and tells everybody to start praying. Now, I'm really not.
It's like when there was the terror attack in London and Trump just tweeted like, guys, we're all going to die. I told you. This is terrifying. I'm scared. Like, it's basically what he tweeted. Like, no, you're supposed to be the guy that says everything's going to be fine. We can't. I don't know if people know this. I don't like this Trump fellow.
I've seen the seat shake like this. So this isn't that.
Is underway after a passenger plane started violently shaking in midair. A suspected engine failure is to blame. 359 passengers were on the AirAsia X flight.
We've all had a little bit of shake like that before.
That's pretty serious. That's like
so
a vibration, though.
They had 2 hours of that. And you could look out a window and see the engine had lost a blade or something, and it was off balance, which was what was causing the vibration.
Oh, yeah. It's like if you ever lose one blade on a fan, it fucks.
Yeah.
You can't.
Or a drone.
Or a drone. Did you?
I ran that thing into a power line. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Chris, good morning.
Good morning. Passengers on board the Airbus A330 report it was like being inside a washing machine with violent vibrations shaking the cabin for nearly 2 hours. This video captured on board AirAsia X flight D7237 shows the Airbus A330 rattling through the sky, shaking the nerves of the 359 people.
It's like a back massage if you close your eyes.
It would feel good if you weren't like, oh, we might die.
Shiatsu.
It was just like a small explosion almost from the left wing, and the plane just started shuddering.
Passengers say the pilot twice came over the intercom telling them to, quote, pray.
Our survival depends on your cooperating. Hopefully everything will turn out for the best.
The flight was on its way
Hopefully
to
everything will turn out for the
Western
best.
Australia, but was forced to turn around after what the Australian Transportation Safety Bureau called a serious incident.
Here's what I get. Look at this map.
There are no airports.
Yeah, why couldn't they land
anywhere?
here? Why couldn't they land here?
That seems.
That's nuts, right?
You should be able. There's got to be an air. Although, what I'll say is Australia.
There are airports, just why didn't they?
Yeah.
I guess because
okay.
they couldn't service the plane, but that's a crazy reason to not land. 353 passengers on board? You nut bars? What?
There has to be just an open field.
In-flight engine fault.
Suddenly we heard like a bang noise, and then everything started shaking. Then the captain said that we have to go back to Perth.
Adding to the
Earth.
crisis, this view from the window shows
Oh,
the plane's
Perth.
engine shaking
Look at that.
uncontrollably. The passengers were told to brace for possible impact on landing, but arrived safely back in Perth.
Thank God, the pilot was really good.
See, maybe these planes, everything is redundant. Everything.
You could lose that whole. I guess it's probably. Well,
Well,
shouldn't
you
they
can
just
lose
kill that engine.
whatever the plane has, engine-wise. You have to be able to fly on half. So these big 747s with 4 engines have to be able to fly if they lose 2.
Yeah.
And you can lose 2 on one side, and you're not. It's not like you're just going to do circles. Like they can adjust the flaps and shit.
I'm sure it's hard.
I'm sure it
fly.
burns more fuel. It's nuts how redundant. I don't know why they even kept that engine on. Like
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is wouldn't it be better to just turn
maybe
it
because
off?
if he turns it off and it goes dead, like it might be doing something now. And while you're shaking, what is the plane going to shake apart? It's not like the rivets are going to shake out.
Yeah,
these things are solid. People don't give it credit.
Well, it's also that things like that, like skyscrapers, are made to blow in the wind a little bit. And
a lot of them
bridges
are built on casters that like roll with the wind. Like,
Yeah, or during
Flex.
if you're in an earthquake zone, they're all it's made to bend with an earthquake because that's safer than if it's just sturdy because it'll be sturdy and then crack or just fall over.
right. If it doesn't have any give at all to it.
And those planes, it's the same thing.
I've seen. I was obsessed with this because I had a near crash in like 2007 in Vegas, and I've seen the stress test on it. They take the wings, they bend them up to see how far they can bend them before they break. They almost touch.
Really?
They get over the fuse. It's so when if you ever see them going like that, it seems sometimes when you land, you see the wings like
They bounce a lot, but they're supposed to.
the same thing you just said. If they didn't, if they were rigid, they just snap. Yeah, they can fold them up almost over top. It's before they start breaking.
That's crazy.
A lot of times it's one solid piece through the plane. It's not like 2 wings bolted on. I
never thought of that.
It's why it's the safest place to sit. Like it's not going to come apart there. because you got this T of metal. I got on pilot forums and I would like listen to. I would go on the forums where like they talk about like, yeah, we almost lost everyone. They're like, yeah, we were taking off and another plane just started taking off at us, and everyone almost died. But the plane took off, probably cleared us by 5 feet. No one on board knew. Cool pilots.
Good story.
Have a cigar.
It's the same thing with elevators. Everybody's always terrified of. Not everybody, but I
Everybody.
know people, every single person, all of you out there are scared of elevators. No, it's a relatively common fear.
And these things
And those
have
things, there's like 10 redundancies.
There's
plus
back in the day,
emergency
it just used to
backup.
be dead squirrels at the bottom would hopefully slow your fall.
Mm-hmm.
They would just put a pile of dead squirrels. The elevator would fall. Good luck squashing them squirrels. Now they
it was
have
a big pile of squirrels to be
But now
fair.
they have the thing that like catches like that giant spring thing that kind of like.
And there's things
Yeah,
that'll
and
just
then they
go
have
out
the
and
emergency
catch.
brakes.
The emergency brakes.
So like once
that's what they're called brakes. You know the catcher thingy, the stoppy catchy. I
Yeah.
believe they call it. It just and this is what
the
it looks
elevator no mo's.
like. the no movies, the no more movies.
The no we go no down no down now.
No downfall death.
This is the best reggae song I've ever heard. Do the air horn sound. Yeah, pretty good. We'll clip all these and make them ringtone. Planes equal elevators in Hesky's world. That's what people are saying. Yeah, you ever like not have enough money for a plane? You just take a Vader. I'm always
That's what I always do.
hopping on and off Vaders. I'm getting moving. I'm moving.
I think an
Earlier
elevator.
I was down here. I'm up here now.
Look, I don't care about moving laterally. It's all about up and down for me.
Yeah.
And being
Andrew
moved-
Dice plane. Yeah.
and being
I'm
moved
taking
emotionally.
Southwest now. Where are my peanuts? These are pretzels.
Oh,
Oh. You can't get blowjobs no more? Oh.
every time I get on an elevator, I listen for the safety announcement. Never comes.
You need instructions for that?
No, because elevators are
I'll
planes.
tell you what you ought to be able to shoot people in the chest on sight for. If that's allowed.
Sure.
The people, and it's always a lot of old people. You've made it to this point in life without this basic understanding of the get out of the way of the doors, whether
Oh,
it's a
yes.
train or the elevator.
The let people off
You know,
first.
Chris Porter had a joke about this. It's like you don't understand physics. I'm standing where you want to be. You have to move.
It's
Like
it's worse in
the people who, when the elevator doors open, are astonished that there are other people who need to maneuver about their world. And I.
Oh, you don't
and this,
live in
I don't
here?
mean this to be some dumb trope. This is like, we live in a world where this is, you know, you want to fix Trump and give women rights. Can we? We can't even understand space.
That's my new Twitter bio. James Hesky trying to fix Trump and give women's rights.
No, but you.
Oh,
In an honest way,
like.
like if you see people on the plane with these bags to the overheads, we all
What's
learned
the
the
deal?
game with the blocks when we were kids. What goes in holes? It's how we learned spatial reasoning and you know
and
3D fucking space.
you should be able to understand.
You know, they're turning
very
it.
Few, if
I
you
love
can
this
tell
move
if it's
too.
somebody who's
When they take the bag and just flip it over. Oh yeah, that changed everything.
you should.
'Cause
You can
the
tell when
wheels.
it's somebody's first time
'Cause
on
the
a
wheels.
flight, and that's almost nobody. Every single person has flown at least 12
Which
times.
brings me back to my point. I'm the only guy.
You're the only guy. Oh, you really Adam
Yeah.
Carolla this.
Oh yeah. By the way, I'm in security at JFK, and there. But can we remind me to get to Uber? Where's my Stylus?
Get to Uber.
We are gonna get to Uber. If that was a pin, it'd be down. Listen, sometimes Uber to JFK. You want to know my? Oh, we'll just get to. We might not get to anything tonight other than my whole trip, and we'll get Hesky's color commentary on it because he knows colors.
Follow my Twitter, my sketch group, the Layoff Kids.
Oh God! And what are we gonna burn before you leave? I forgot.
Just me.
I never
Just
eat.
throw a bottle of booze on me.
Yeah,
and
maybe
light me
you'll
on
get
fire.
hot enough. You ignite.
That's the thing I do. I don't actually know. I don't ignite. I just roast.
Fix your tits. Okay.
Hot shit.
Oh God. Okay, so where was I?
You're the only guy.
I'm the only guy. I'm with this.
Not only am I a color commentator, I'm your story Sherpa.
I was dirt poor, and I flew a lot as a kid. So I don't know. In the 80s, I imagine flying was really expensive. I remember you had to get a real ticket. You'd get it in the mail.
And that cost $7,000.
And you'd have to have a travel agent. And by the way, I see these people still using travel agents. You ever pass a travel agent and I want to sit there for 5 minutes and see what happens. Because they're selling heroin.
They have to be.
Travel agents
Are still a thing for some reason.
now, when you book on Expedia is a travel agent. Like, that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't need to know that or give a fuck. And they put such a pretty wrapper on it. You don't,
Yeah.
Can you imagine calling your local travel agent, going through your yellow book?
Somebody was explaining to me that it's worth it if you're doing some sort of thing where it's
I hear like if you're a
going to,
company and you have people,
if you're enough people and you're going to enough different places, then
You
there
can
are
get
deals and things like that.
For cruises, I know we were going to do this NLO cruise, which you would be great on.
I'd love to do.
We should do a cruise.
Can I be the captain?
Why don't we do a cruise?
Let's do a cruise.
I got to talk about Oktoberfest. We're doing this.
Okay.
I don't know what you're doing in September, but you might want to block.
If I can go, I will.
Remind me, everybody, I'm the only
Portland.
guy. We'll get to that.
Okay, you're the only guy. I'm in Portland in September, but so it'd be hard for me to get out.
We do need to discuss this.
Okay.
Oktoberfest. Last year, Chris and I went for 3 days. You're with Chris, you can't exactly do things right. He's very nervous. One day he didn't want to leave the hotel at all. It's like, this is drink town time.
Yeah, why would you go to Oktoberfest?
So we're doing a week. And when I say a week, I mean 8 days. I mean,
well, that's how they do it over there. That's what the Beatles made it 8
just
days
like
a week.
last year, you go out in the morning and drink on the day of your flight. You make sure your flight's at 7 p.m. And you head to the airport. At 5, you leave the beer tent. And you show up shit funked. And it's great. It is great. And because everyone is. I have ordered my lederhosen. I am wearing traditional Trachten. This is what they call the clothing over there in Bavaria. I'm doing it right this year. Last year I faked it. I had the hat.
I no longer have to look at my sketches on DeviantArt.com.
I stole two
of you and later
of these legit beer steins from the Hofbrauhaus tent, which is the tent to be in. I'm going to check out some other tents this year because 8 days. But the Hofbrauhaus tent, 10,000 people. When I say tent, they started constructing these.
Is that metric or American standard? 10,000.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
It's just an integer.
I don't know these things. I think elevators are planes, so.
Okay. Can we?
What are the other ones you have?
I do it for me too. Like I go, oh yeah, my tits
yeah.
probably need some stuff. And why do you? Okay, I can't go on any more tangents. We're 9 deep, and I'm the only guy. I'm glad you're here.
3:30 in the morning, you're gonna be like, so I'm the only guy.
You know what's great though? You get me. Like you get all this somehow, and I don't know what you think of it.
You
but I
on
don't
the
care.
no, because you on the radio, you talk just like my mom telling a story, so I have practice where it's the same. Where she's like, I was at work, and it was this work party, and do you know Mike? Have you met him? I think he came to the Christmas party. The one at Cheryl's. Remember Cheryl? You were friends with her son from. I think he's actually a lawyer now. Are you thinking about going back to school, James?
Yeah.
And
When are you gonna have a baby? She's Jewish.
my mom's an old Jewish lady who gives you airplane bottles.
Yeah. Take one of these. You're gonna need it.
You're gonna need it. Oh my gosh, the plane's gonna start vibrating.
Wait for the
soon.
shaking to
I don't know
begin.
what voice that was.
The shaking. It's coming. Have a cigarette with me in the lavatory. I'm Phyllis Diller. Where was I?
You're the only guy.
No, but that's coming back later.
Oktoberfest.
So I need to book this. This is happening. Shuby is in. And let me tell you, that is worth the... You should have to pay a separate admission to see what this motherfucker's going to do in England. And I posted some great Instagrams last year. Go back to September 2016. P-Melt.
I'm sorry if I don't have any content
Where I just filmed drunk people who were trying to revel in obscurity in the tents. Nope. They thought... And by the way, they were handling their shit because they were holding the rail. They went off alone to die like Old Yeller in the woods. And no one...
Wait, does
no one was
shot?
No one was noticing.
Sorry.
Sure. No one was noticing them, and these guys got shot by my iPhone 6 Plus. Just doing... There was one guy who just was...
You just rewrote the ending of Old
Swaying.
Yeller, by the way. Can we just say...
First of all, the
that
first
you just,
one was...
You just fucking rewrote the
Oscar's
ending
so
of
white. Can we please move on?
You're just fine with whatever.
You're so political.
I just didn't want to... I let a lot of things slide, but you can't be like, remember in Old Yeller when he just goes off to the woods to die? Remember that part?
No.
Remember...
Sounds made up.
Remember in Sophie's Choice when that kid just goes off into the woods to die?
This is going to be...
Sorry.
Let me tell you something. You're a guy. You're insecure. We have a lot of these fans. You know, they're out there. Need to fix their tits.
Need to
Okay. Ringtone. Eat tone. Just the alarm for when dinner
it's
is.
just an alarm to be like, oh, I should go get wings.
Okay, so
Oktoberfest. Or
it's
are we back to being...
I have found a room. First of all, Shuby. Chip Chris. Chip Chris, super fun drunk. Till he's not. One time, he disappeared for hours, left me. I was almost in a diabetic beer coma. Literally thought I was going to black out. Dude disappears. Great. Somehow, I went
He was right in front of you the whole
I went
time.
to McDonald's and made it back to the hotel room 2 hours before him.
And that's crazy because you ate McDonald's for 3 hours.
Oktoberfest go hard. Do not think about coming to this if you cannot drink.
Oh.
This is not for Shuby, but I'm glad he's coming. Water costs almost as... A beer is €10. No, it's a liter. And it's 6%.
But a liter is spelled L-I-T-R-E.
Sure.
That's upsetting.
You better lead the rest of the jokes to me. Leader.
Well, that is my time. I am out. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, that's where you draw the line.
Yeah. Okay, so $10 for a litre.
If you want water, it's like the same. That's how hard they go. Like, good fucking luck hydrating, bitch. Like,
it's like being at a baseball game. Where he's like, oh, I could get a...
And they do the thing
A
where you
beer for 10 or-
stand up on the table if you want to chug a whole liter. Mm-hmm. But if you get up there to do that, you better, like, you almost better practice it.
Oh,
If you
gotta
get
be
up
ready.
there to do that, and by the way, 10,000 people in a tent turn to you and look at you and cheer you on. They want you to do it.
they're on your
But
side.
you're a little bitch ass. If you do not do that, it's over. I saw a girl get a bloody nose from a pretzel. I wish I was kidding, and the pretzels are bigger than your head.
Did she snort the salt?
Yes, there's Oktoberfest cocaine. which is like an energy.
That's their Monster energy drink.
It really is. It's not cocaine, which we'll get to in a minute.
Oh, we will? I mean, I don't know.
We're doing this.
Like.
I have found a hotel that is half the distance from the hotel we had last year, which was super close, by U-Bahn. It's $200 a night. If you want a room and you come out for the week, $800. Come out.
That's
Double occupancy. You know, there's a couch, the sofa bed, and there's like a sofa bed and a double bed. And it will be the biggest party. Now, Edinburgh is a big party. I tell people to come out to Edinburgh, and if you can, come out there. I'll be there all month. I'm about to leave for Europe next week. You know, time has flown. In 1 week from today, I'll be in Europe town. After I watch, us celebrate our country, I'm going over there to get shot in one of those terrorist attacks where they're having.
No, you don't get shot. You get run over there.
Yeah, because they don't have guns. Wasn't it nice when it was just efficient?
Now they have vans.
Yeah.
And then they have to try to actually track you down.
Somebody pulls out a gun, you know there's trouble. Somebody pulls out a Ford, you just think they need to get into your spot. It's hard to...
Well, and there was the guy in Times Square who...
By the way, know that Oktoberfest is a big target. It really is. I don't know how...
I'm sure.
I remember last year they weren't searching shit. I don't know how they're going to... And by the way, that's 1 tent of... And when I say tent, this is very... They started building them in June. For September.
When you say tent, I still imagine that you have to walk through and like...
It is a log cabin of fun. There's this giant angel...
10,000 people. That's like the lower level of a stadium filled.
It's nuts. You leave there, you go out to the porta potty. There's all these girls giving guys head under trees and fucking on a hill. Then there's just people passed out drunk. Girls pissing. There's a lot of girls just squatting pissing because they can't hold it anymore. It's a party.
Are they squatting, pissing, and giving blowjobs?
If you want to have sex and you can't get laid at Oktoberfest, you're doing it wrong. Chris and I have some stories. All the waitresses are super hot and friendly. They have a whole system even to tell you if they want to be flirted with. The girls tie their dirndl bow on a certain side if they want to announce that they're single and open to like be approached.
That's great.
How easy is that? Also, when 6% liters of alcohol are being involved. It almost makes raping worthwhile. Guys, we're doing Oktoberfest. If you want into this, I need to know by the end of this week. Let's say July 3rd, Monday. If you want a room, you have to find a partner. I'm getting my own room. It costs twice as much. But I've come into a fortune. Doing very well.
That's what I hear.
I'll be doing shows in London. I'll be doing shows in Liverpool. I'll be doing shows in Edinburgh. Watch Twitter and all that stuff. And then Munich. And I'm going to try to line up some comedy stuff. That'd be dope.
Tell some jokes. Do you tell jokes?
If you can get out there, Hesky, I'm telling you. Because you can handle your beer.
Oh, yeah. This stuff's
we could
7%, and I'll finish this 6-pack, within the hour.
That's a sad story. I'm the only guy.
Well, hang on, because I need to refresh.
You've gone through 3 beers in the show already. We are 38 minutes in.
Yeah, well, I'm no fucking pussy.
39.
I'm practicing for Oktoberfest.
Everybody gets it. If you want into this, 30 seconds. I put a thread on the Facebook group. We got Chip Chris, Bob Tomlinson. I think Kylan Winkler wants in. So right now we have Chris is getting his own room. He's only coming out for part of the time. So that means Shuby and Bob will be together. There's only 6 hotel rooms left here. So we have to book this. It's super close. Remember, Shuby's like an Uber exec now. We're going to be able to Uber home for free. He'll get us all Uber XLs and popcorn. I sound like Trump with campaign promises.
We'll get
If you want
popcorn.
in on this, it's very easy to do. Flights are really cheap right now. This is in September. You have plenty of time. And I'm telling people to do this over Edinburgh this year. Because we're not doing anything special in Edinburgh. I'm just going there to party on my own. Leave me alone. We'll be doing a lot of podcasts in England, a lot of podcasts in Edinburgh again. You know, no commitment this time, but we'll be getting that done. Also, the album that I was editing from Edinburgh last year is finally nearing completion. I hate it. You know, but it is what it is. We'll be putting that out, and there is a bonus album with that too. I'm going to be on the road finishing editing that. So give me a little more patience. But I'm smart enough to never guarantee a date for any of this stuff, so I don't owe you guys anything. It will come out. If you didn't
by the way, the bonus album is all a cappella love songs.
The bonus album is stuff I like because it's just crowd work. There's 22 minutes of me just making fun of my tech
Oh, great.
running the show,
Oh, that's good.
who was a university student who did not want attention. So that was great. And I was really high, so that made me make fun of him more. But all that stuff is happening. If you want to go to Oktoberfest, it's September 18th through 25th, Monday to a Monday. Come for part of the time. Find a person.
That's exactly when I'm in Portland. Like,
Well,
I'm in Portland in the middle
No,
of
they're the
those days.
same. Munich, Portland.
Yeah. I'll be in Portland eating fancy donuts, so I know how to fucking party, okay?
Steve Curran, who comes to everything in West Parsons, who Wes will be really disappointing if he doesn't come. And again, I know this is short notice. You just need to commit to the room. We have to book the rooms. You can work on the flight. You got months to do that. But Steve Curran, who I'm sure you've heard bandied about, has now lost his job with UPS, Red Bull, whatever it was. And
Too similar.
he drives a truck delivering something people don't need. And now he's given up looking for a job and just joined the Proud Boys, the Gavin McInnes Proud Boys. I don't know what this is, a gay Western chauvinist group. I don't understand. It's very weird. He lives in Riverside or the Inland Empire, which is like 2 hours from L.A. He's at all these Proud Boy. By the way, Proud Boy, please.
You can almost
I don't know what it is.
You can almost hear the R/ right before you say Proud Boys.
I know it's one of these alt-right Milo.
Oh, my favorite.
Doesn't Milo sounds like it is a dog's name? Milo and Otis, that old movie from Disney days. Guys, we got Johnny Walker Red here. That's the good stuff. Is it not? Don't tell me. I thought it went red, top tier, black, shit, and blue, don't even bother. Am I right, fellas?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Nailed it.
My sketch show in Philly, I have promised if Trump leaves office and I still have a show there, I will bring a bottle of Blue Label and everybody will get some.
Okay.
So
I believe you.
I don't think I'll ever have to do that the way things are going.
Oktoberfest is happening. Come see us. September 18th through 25th. Get on it. You don't need to make excuses. And by the way, if you're already in Europe,
yeah, what the
these
fuck?
are things you should
If you're
do.
already there,
I'm getting
dumb
my
of you
own
not
room.
to.
I got my own room. Did I
said
tell
that.
you that? Because I'm doing
did.
very well. I got a superior suite with a balcony with seated area.
That's the Red Label of rooms.
Like I'm even going to be in the room. I just want to be able to. I want to have areas people could have slept for cheaper that they can't.
That kind of place, I would just get a barrel, like a thing of hay.
Well, that's what a lot of people rent a tent. They have a campgrounds. You rent a tent. But again, the goal is,
I want it to be inside, but I would.
You want a real shower.
Yeah.
You tell these ladies at the tents, like, hey, you sick of that 9-person tent you're in where you all stand in each other's fucking period blood and athlete's foot? How about you head
Ooh,
on?
athlete's foot. Gross.
Yeah.
I'd never gargle athlete's foot.
Yep. I don't rub the other stuff into my skin
Yeah.
either.
I won't touch somebody with athlete's foot.
No, I want a nice. It's so nice to have a nice bed to crash in after a day of nothing but drinking.
Yeah, I'd want a bed, but
So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it hard. That's happening. And I want to try to podcast from a table in Oktoberfest. This is risky because of all the spills. Ooh. Last year, people clank these glasses together really hard. Chris got cut. One broke. It's no joke. It's a sport. It reminds me of the ceremony in the movie Groundhog Day when they bring out Punxsutawney Phil. With that pomp and circumstance.
I thought you meant when he dies over there.
That's the same feeling of Oktoberfest. Seize the day. Will he see his shadow? 6 more hours of drinking.
I'll wake up early or maybe I'll just still be up.
The women at Groundhog Day, Oktoberfest celebrations come in waves. You'll have drinking starts at like 9 a.m. You'll have the first round of women just drunk off their asses at 2, and then around 6 you'll have another one, and then around 11 closing time you get the diehards, the 2s. That's when we swoop,
the Heskies of the
that's
world.
when we swoop in. Picture tits.
Fire.
Oh God! Can we do it? I'm the only guy.
I'll call in. Since
you don't have
can't
work.
Make it. In September.
To Oktoberfest. Please don't. We'll be busy. We'll send Insta crows.
Thanks.
It's what your grandparents used to use for Instagram. It would be a crow with a physically developed photo. The crow would fly over and jump on your head in the rain.
Well, yeah.
Not all of them can be gold. Let's move on. I'm the only guy.
Let's stick with that one.
I get on the plane to Tampa at JFK. I do this move for my fat days. This is where we were. 10 minutes before boarding is done. 10 minutes before boarding starts. You go up to the desk. Don't do it when boarding starts. They'll be busy. You go, hey, as you can see,
I'm handsome.
a lot of surface area. Nice way of saying a big guy. I would like to know if there's an aisle seat that's got an empty seat next to it. 9 times out of 10, these bitches will suck your dick while printing you a new ticket. And the other time, they'll print you a new ticket. So, pretty good deal.
That's smart. I pay for the extra leg room.
You're a sucker. You get it for free all the time at the gate if you just go ask. They always have an emergency row, empty. No, I know what you're thinking as a fat guy. The armrest is solid there, and I need to leak. But
even as a fat guy, I like window rather than aisle because I can just kind of cram up against the window. If once I'm in the aisle, like if I spread out in there, then people are just bumping my arm. I not into that.
Wes says, I guess I'll just have to settle on seeing Hesky in Portland that week. So he's out too. Maybe you guys can share a room there. Get your own podcast.
My dad might be coming. That'll be fun.
So I sit down next to this black woman. The fact that she's black is not important. Other than,
I mean, she's all the people in my Twitter bio that I'm trying to help.
She's by the window, empty seat, me. She's on an iPhone big.
This is what it's called, right?
And she's asking me for help with something. So I help her. Then she's asking me for help with something else. I help her. Then she tells me she just bought it. It's 6:30 a.m. She just bought the iPhone in the airport from a Verizon booth. Who does that? I thought those were traps. Like if you did that, they didn't let you on your flight because you were too dumb.
She bought a phone in the airport?
Yeah, she never had a smartphone even. Thought that'd be a good time to learn. They switched everything over for her. She couldn't text anybody. She didn't have any numbers. She's loading up Facebook, and she does what all these black women do, I imagine, in my mind. Is their whole timeline is these videos. They're videos, but they should just be photos. They should just light your head on fire and kill you.
Well, every old black woman is just automatically an ant. Like that's basically what it is.
Inspirational Bible quotes.
Yeah.
Over
ants.
like a time lapse sunrise, and horrible choir music or harps playing, and this bitch has it on speaker like a mug fug, just in the plane before we take off.
Yeah, why not?
Cranking it up. She's looking around.
It's her
going,
first smartphone.
She goes, "Is this too loud for anybody?" And then she looked at me and goes, "I know it's too loud for you." Now, she then
I will
tapped.
say also, by the way, old black woman or any black woman over the age of 40 loves a chubby white guy.
She was trying to be hip. She was trying to be like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's mom.
Which one?
Aunt Viv.
I was going to say there were two Aunt Vivs.
The one that looks like she would wear like sweatbands, headbands, and
the skinny one, the skinny darker one, or the thicker.
God, this is like asking me to pick which Becky I like on Roseanne, because I've jerked off to both. The point is, she taps me again because I have my headphones in. I'm doing that move. The number one signal.
Sometimes I put headphones in without turning on any music or podcasts.
Right. I still want to hear how crazy you are.
Yeah.
She asked me, how do I save this? You know, one of these bullshit inspirational quote videos. And I go, I don't think you can. And she's like, you can't? Bitch, buy a Bible. That saves them all. Like, if you just want a book of lies.
This is actually what this show is about. I'm glad we could come full circle. Everybody should
like
go
4 bottles of
Airclaim
blues.
Everybody should go out and buy a Bible, and we should.
That's in your turtleneck. You're gonna need it.
We should honestly. I'm not wearing a turtleneck. That's
this one's off the rails, but some of them are just for us. Mm-hmm. The after show will be gold.
It's also 1:30 in the morning.
That's early. The after show starts at 4. In the hockey game, we'll rewatch that we recorded.
We'll rewatch the hockey. I still don't know who won.
Then I'm the only guy that gets sit next to on the way home. I get sat behind a man. I love people who have never flown too. Love them. You can always tell. This kid, you know, this redneck, gap-toothed kid being walked to the gate with his parents. Whew. You know, if your boy doesn't make it, you're welcome.
Who has a gap tooth? That's
you're welcome. Florida.
Get your fucking teeth fixed. Am I right?
I get sat behind this guy who's on a tablet, not a Surface, not a brand name, anything you've ever heard of, Galaxy Tab or anything. Just a, you know, if I had to guess, it'd be a NEC blank tech. You know, like just some garbage tablet. And this motherfucker is tapping with this stylus. Tapping. Clicking with it. Tapping. Drops it and picks it up. Tap. He's hitting it so hard, it's greasing out of his hands and hitting the floor. I have headphones on. It's disrupting me. Tap. Drops it. Rolls back in front of my seat. I put my foot on top of it. I will say this now. I am not proud of this. You should not do this.
This is fantastic.
This is theft. Put my foot on top of it, reach down, pick it up. That stylus is in my hand right now. I stole a stylus from an obnoxious man.
That deserves.
Look at this piece of garbage.
You are a hero.
It's magnetic. It clicks. Does anybody know what kind of garbage book this goes to?
It syncs that tablet syncs to your Palm Pilot.
I put it in my pocket.
I thought that was a decent job.
I watched this fucking guy get up when the plane lands and Hunt. I couldn't be happier. I've never been happier.
You are an American hero.
And I made up my mind that if he was a man, if he was a real man, he'd ask people around him, did you see my faggoty, gay, gray Stylus? It's long like a penis, and I'm kind of a gay. That's what he's into.
Sure. Probably. No,
And I
because he
made up
didn't
my
know how to
mind.
hold on to it. If he was a
I
good
made a
homosexual,
good point.
he would have known how to hold on to it. I mean, he would have worked the tip.
I made up my mind that if he asked me if I'd seen it, I would have pulled out of my pocket and said, oh, I thought it was a pen. Here you go. That motherfucker couldn't look me in the eyes. And I sat there above him because I looked down on most of you. Just going.
You brought a. You
felt so good.
You brought a
Felt
soapbox.
so good.
You brought a soapbox on the plane so that you could stand and look down on
Look,
it.
I've had my things stolen, and sometimes it's called a lesson. You have to learn. Don't leave your stuff unattended. And if you are, by the way, any other person gets this back. That was a maniacal thing I did.
It was a great thing you did.
I don't steal styluses. I have no use for this. You can't break it. It's actually a really nice one. But, oh my God, there's batteries in it. This is expensive. This is not even a AAA. This is some specialty thing he has to go on Amazon for.
Yeah,
I've never even seen that. It's super narrow. What is that? Stylus batteries. Right in.
It's a quad A.
I've never heard of that.
Quad A? You never had a quad A?
Hey, I'll see you in the quad. Hey. No, this is garbage. This is what we'll burn at the end of the show.
I would like to watch that burn. I hate that. Those sound things drive me nuts. Somebody just like tapping or doing anything like that.
Well, I'm sorry. It's also like, every iPad owner is real happy. And you don't see no styluses, and you might say, Patrick, the iPad Pro has a stylus. Fuck you. Is that a good argument? Okay, now I'm ready for my first note. Florida was awesome.
All right, let's start recording.
So, where I was going with this at the beginning, and maybe it's good we don't get to anything real. People think comedy, losers, or it's super ritzy.
Oh God, was that this episode we were talking about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you need a cigarette?
Maybe. I'll show you about my plans for tonight.
Baby need a smoke? What is happening right now? Oh no, guys. Hesky's opening his bag. Guys, we're all going to have a cigarette. Light up, please. I'm trying to smoke like 3 a day. So we'll have a nice treat.
I'm trying to get up to 3 a day as well.
Huh? Packs.
Oh.
Cartons. Florida cigarettes are like $4.
I get once every 3 months. I get drunk enough to walk into my bodega and be like, I'm packing Marlboro Lights.
And they don't remember you, so they don't sell them to you?
Well, I'm in there to buy beer, but I never buy cigarettes from them.
But do they have the illegal ones?
No.
How much are they?
It's like $15 a pack.
Oh, see, you go to mine, you get them for $8.
Oh. But
they have the illegal ones, but they also have signs up that say no cigarettes, no loosies. But they totally have cigarettes and loosies.
Yeah.
But if they don't know you.
But every 3 months I buy a pack. So this isn't a major investment for me. It's seriously every 2 to 3 months I will buy 1 pack, and it'll be my.
I'm worried that you're not going to lose a foot by the time you're 40 if you don't get on this.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it with other ways. I had wings for lunch, and I'm gonna have to shit again before the end of this podcast.
I wish I should get back on the wing. I honestly haven't had wings in like 6 months.
Have you even listened to Wings?
No.
Wing?
No. Never. But The wings are good. If you are off carbs, the wings are a good thing for your diet.
Yeah, when I've done low carb,
you can't just be eating garlic knots in between them.
no, yeah, I would house wings.
House?
Yeah. He would just
Pat House.
Pat House. Wait, you know Pat House?
No, just
Oh.
somehow we bring him up every time you're here.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Pat, if you're listening.
Don't call. We can't take it.
I don't think he has this number. You just call. He'd call my cell phone. I don't mean to brag. I am friends with Pat House.
You know, like I am from Florida. I know a lot of these servers at this improv. It's my home club. I first did comedy on this stage October 8th, 2003. I know these people, a lot of them. Now, the turnover is high because it's waitresses and shitholes. But I know a lot of them. So when I go there, I drink every night till the bars close at 3. A lot of the bars will close and let us hang out or sell us beer to go home. I'm staying in the comedy condo, which is like, this is one of the only condos I'll stay in because it's in Ybor City. It's like 6 blocks from the club and all the bars. Like, it's just perfect to drive back to.
I stay in the comedy condo
so
that I can rent a car.
No, the only reason you get the car is so you can go to the McDonald's first while you're hammered. And people always, I'm telling you, drive-thrus are a great place to sober up. Nobody gives that enough thought. You're not going anywhere. Your foot just has to stay on the brake. You're about to eat. Calm down. You're not drinking, hopefully. Oh, I did drive home with a car full of people and holding a scotch. Is that good?
That's a classy DUI.
So
in Austin one time, me and some friends, we paid a cabbie $30 to go in the Whataburger drive-thru because it was the only because you couldn't walk in.
Somehow, 15 to 20 people got invited back. People from servers from other restaurant that was closing.
Back to the comedy condo?
Yeah. An ex-boyfriend of this chick I was flirting with.
Sure. That's not weird.
There was so much cocaine. So many nights. 4 nights we went hard. The first night we went to bed at 6, 7 a.m. and I was like, whoa, that was a bender. I mean, cocaine, fun times. The second
it's a great
night,
time, but when the sun starts coming up and you start
the
realizing
second night
exactly
we
how
went
bad
till
you fucked up.
11.
Ugh.
11.
Ugh.
I had coke dealers showing up going, here's a gram, try my product. This is the type of party we had. It's the type of party that I swear to God, like people think comics probably have all the time. We don't.
No.
Now, again, Hesky and I have seen some of those parties.
Yeah.
Where I've never seen heroin snorted, but there it was on my coffee table. Like, sometimes shit go hard. This was naked chicks in both bathrooms. Whether they were just happy to piss in front of everybody or to just get naked and have people do bumps off their nipples.
Which
like,
that would be a problem because if I do any of that, I just start shitting immediately.
This was one of these parties where you're just like, what the fuck is my life? Because this is my deal. We have people just showing up with jars of weed, contesting. Mine's better. Try this. I'm not serious. I'm dead serious.
No, I believe
one
you.
guy's name was Tommy Yaya, and one of the dealers' names was Timmy Be Good or something. Anyway, these guys are drug dealers. Get them, Tampa. But
if that's what brings you down.
4 nights of like 8 a.m., 10 a.m.
I can't do more than one of those.
People crashing in the other bedroom, crashing on the sofa. I just hard. So I lost my voice 4 days into that.
Sure. Yeah. If you're not sleeping and you're doing that, it just fucks up. I mean, because it
cigarettes
fucks up everything.
And alcohol.
Oh yeah.
We have bottles in the fridge from a bar because we know so many bartenders in this town. This is insane. We have beers.
Beer?
Beers.
You were doing beer?
We had sparkling Zinfandel. We had no, it was just like it didn't stop. So many people, everybody wanted to give away whatever they had, including tits. And it was really
Hang on.
one of these good parties 4 nights in a row. Not in a row. We did take a break. But I lost my voice. It was like gone. This is shit, but it was gone. And at night, I would have to perform. I only had one night off this whole trip. And it would just warm up. Somehow it would just warm up and I'd get there.
Yeah, if you just, because you realize that it's not going to work, so you just shut up all day. You don't speak all day in those
And
situations.
I was doing the tea. You know, I went down to the little corner store. I'm like telling this guy, give me tea. At gunpoint.
It's so great that the things we do, because I'm that way. If I go, I've never done like I can't do like benders when people are like, oh, I was up for 3 days doing coke and drinking. I'm like, I've never
Come to Oktoberfest.
been able. Well, no, I'll drink
Or
too much,
Edinburgh.
but I'll need like 2 or 3. I can do 2 or 3 days, then I'm like, look, there's gonna be a day where I'm just gonna sleep and then I'm back.
By the way, if you come to Edinburgh, we're going to have a great time too. Mikey has taken the whole month off, which means he'll spend at least half of it with us because half will be with his girlfriend, who's 19, 20 now.
They've been dating 4 years.
Yeah. So all weekend long shows at the Improv. Monday night, I went out to Dunedin Brewery and did a show. Worked on some new stuff. Tuesday night off. Wednesday night headlining the Improv. I hadn't been smoking weed, and this comic Tim C gave me weed for a guest set, and I realized I'd become like the comic that I used to, everybody used to give the headliner weed to go on or
That's
to
fantastic.
win favor.
That's like an old Boston
I realized
comedy
I'd
story.
become that, which was very cool. And I went on stage and I was so high. I'm the motherfucker who wakes up with smoking, goes to bed. Like, I smoke all day. I was out of my mind. My sister came out to see me. I had one of these girls there. And I was out of my mind. A lot of local comics, because the open mic is in the bar later at 10 p.m. So I'm being watched by just a lot of people who haven't seen me in forever. And I had stellar shows all week.
Oh, awesome.
I'm out of my mind. So I end up doing crowd work. I end up doing like an hour and 10, I hear. I have it all on tape. I'm gonna find it. But I called him out. Probably 100 people in the room. Called him out for selling me this weed. No, it had to be like 120 because it was back. And keep pointing him out 4 or 5 times in the show. Like, if you want this weed, go see Tim. And he's eating and trying to hide in the back. And he said he got approached 3 times. And had to laugh him off. Because then I would rein it back in because I'd go like, don't approach him. He's Christian. He hates when I do this. Like, I confused it enough to where people were just like, I don't know what to fucking believe anymore. But there were like this whole table of like trans people there. It was a nutty show.
The last time I performed high I was in Buffalo opening for, I was featuring for Metzger. And I hadn't seen him in a while.
Just pick up that name.
Yeah. Just dropped it. Well, no, but he was like, hey, like you want to, like, it was in between shows on a Friday or Saturday. He's like, hey, you want to go smoke? And I'm like, yeah, I don't like smoking, but I would like to go smoke with Kurt Metzger. That'd be kind of fun. I haven't done that before. So
Everybody's dream, smoking with the Mets.
I took maybe 3 hits of this week, and like during the 3rd hit, I realized like I should have stopped. I do not have. This is really good stuff.
Dude, we were in bars, in women's bathroom stalls at bars, doing coke. Girls would just walk in and see my head and just be like, get it. I don't know what world I was living in. It was a nutty, and I'm not like doing this to brag. Like, this isn't a typical.
Yeah, this
weekend.
is
This is the magic of
most
Florida.
Comedy weeks, you go and you're just like, hey, I'm going to go do my show, and that's the most I will actually like. The crowd work is the most I'm talking to people.
So that's where I've been. Was it irresponsible? Yes. I meant to do shows. I'm sorry to you people. I am going to make it up to you this week before I head off to Europe. And then I promise you shows in Europe. I'll bring my whole setup, whole deal. Don't, hold my feet to the fire. We're gonna try to get some big people in Edinburgh this year. I'm gonna trap them in rooms.
It's going to be a whole extortion thing.
What was I gonna say?
Wait. So just real quick,
sorry, I cut you off.
No. When I smoked with Metzger, it was like right after the end of the first show. We still had like an hour to the second show. I'm like, I'll be fine. And I went up, and I'm like during the host set, I'm like just pacing, trying to somehow get it out of my system that way. I ate, I did it. I'm like, doesn't matter. I'm going to be very high on stage still.
Yeah.
And I go out there, and I'm not, I don't smoke that much, and I'll get paranoid. And it's a late show, Friday or Saturday, I can't remember which. The crowd was great, except one drunk girl who was just talking the whole time, but she was in the middle of the crowd, and it was that thing where I'm like, I think she's talking, but she might just be ordering a drink, and I'm high, and I don't know. And normally I would be able to figure it out, and then I would just yell at her and be like, hey, can you stop being a dumb cunt? And, I'd say it just like that. And instead, because I was high, I just pleaded with her to please stop talking because I saw other people turning around and asking. I was like, we just want to have a good time, and when you talk, then people can't have a good time.
We get it. You can't handle your shit.
And I was like, I can get hammered and go up on stage and probably pull it off.
I know.
If I had 3 hits of weed an hour and a half before going on stage, and
everyone there loved it. I know that me doing crowd work high is funnier than most comics' written shit. Mm-hmm. I had this lady with a 9-inch nail tattoo on her fucking arm. I had a guy with a Band-Aid up here. I just kept calling Blind Nelly because he couldn't put it on right. I was like, I went around the whole room. I do that thing sometimes where I go literally every table and just come up with some shit. And it was great. And I got out some bits too. But
you're
it was
like the only comedian who every show can write a new hour.
No, that's Butch. Hit the Butch clip. You are fucking dreaming. Okay.
Oh, yeah. You're fucking dreaming. Pat!
Yeah.
You are fucking dreaming. Hot shit. Soundboard's back. That's amazing.
Kylan in the chat remembers one time we did an NLO show in Indianapolis, and Ben Glebe was in town working, and Matt Full Charge was in town working. 2 clubs in town, and we had a party in one of our hotel rooms, like with 30 people, like standing room only, and it was one of these like embassy suites where it's like a living room and a kitchen, just like full, whatever that would be, 50, I don't know. The owner of one of the comedy clubs that Ben was working at was there, and it's just like, you can bring this many people to a fucking hotel room party? Like, here's my card. Like, I run a club. And like it was so packed. It was one of those like efficiency hotels. Everyone's drinking whiskey and Fireball and shit out of like plates and bowls and ladles.
Sure.
Like just anything you could grab. Like every once in a while, those parties happen. Most of the time, it's sad alone with a pizza and the Discovery Channel,
which is honestly my favorite.
Swiping on Tinder.
I usually like that, and then every once in a while, if it's crazy, you're like, that's also. But I don't want that to be my life. Like my life should be.
Right.
I prefer my life to be like, now I'm alone and I'm just tweeting.
When you need the peaks and the valleys.
Yeah. But every once in a while, it should be like, oh yeah, we watched this. I did not fall asleep until noon.
So this fan that comes out every time I'm in Tampa, Blind Matt, we've had him on the show back when I lived there. Comes out to the show, it's always a great gimmick. He always just faces the speaker. He thinks that's where the sound is. So, it is where the sound is. So I put this motherfucker in an Uber. It's Friday night. This is how this all started. It's Friday night, Thursday night. Like some old coworkers came out and friends. Friday, Blind Matt comes out to the late show. I'm like, I'm gonna call it an early night. Go back to the condo. A lot of the staff is going over to this place called Double Decker to do karaoke. This might be where it all started. I put Matt in an Uber, which is super fun. Put a blind guy in an Uber. Boy, is that some explaining. And you should see a blind guy use a phone, just tap, listening. Like, it's amazing. He's just using his iPhone dark, but he can open apps, can read every app, like our podcast app. Can use it, like it's just automatic, like it's like accessibility. So, I mean,
I don't think
he
they
looks
should be,
retarded using it.
I'm going to be honest. I'm against it. I don't think they should be allowed to. God
So
chose to punish them for a reason.
So Matt, I put him in this Uber. I start going back to the condo. I get a text from the bartender that I know and some of the staff going like, "Hey, your blind fan just showed up over a double decker." First of all, he took an Uber less than a block. But I guess that's one of the problems.
Yeah, for them, that's like a mile.
Yeah. So I go, all right. And I head over there. Now I do a couple songs, of course, please the people. But I drink and hang out with them. Then we all head back to...
I do a couple... Fuck you. What songs? What songs?
Then we all head down to this... I usually do a Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline type of deal.
Okay.
Every once in a while I'll bust out some... I always do Ice Ice Baby. That's my go-to.
There you go. I like...
Crowd Pleaser.
I'll do...
Cloud Pleaser.
I'll do Montel Jordan's This Is How We Do It.
I bet you do.
It's a good one. It's a fun drunk karaoke song, and it gets...
I would have guessed Send in the Clowns. But to each their own.
I do. No, I'll just... And then, like, everybody knows I'm drunk when I do My Funny Valentine, and it just make everybody feel sad.
Yeah, we invented our own shot called Fire in the Sky, where it's just a fireball shot in Sky vodka.
Ah, fucking gross.
Delicious. That's what you meant to pronounce. So
yuck.
So we end up going to this other bar to buy Coke and beer. Once everything's closed, go back to the condo with blind Matt. One of the waitresses being so sweet to Matt, like leading it. I like dump him like you would a blind friend.
Sure.
And, I wanted a friend, not a burden. But so, no, I love Matt. So we go there. We're trying to get him to do Coke, but, he can't fit. He can't line it up in his nostril. But can you imagine this?
That must suck to be a blind guy who's addicted to Coke.
Trying to do Coke.
Or even worse, like heroin, and how do you find a vein?
And we're all like taking turns at Spotify. It was just crazy nights, but that's definitely how I lost my voice. So then Thursday night,
I blame the blind.
I pop into the Improv because a buddy of mine, Rafiq, is doing this show where he's really proud of it. It's his first book show at the Improv. Like he's producing and, he's overthinking it and super anxious and nervous about it. But he gets like 160 people in there.
Nice.
And he asked me to do 10 minutes. I'm driving from visiting some friends like an hour and a half away. So I'm running late. I get there like 40 minutes into the show. But I'm texting him, letting him know. And unlike the other nights, I haven't had a chance to like be at the club talking to comics, warming my voice up, and or doing any time. So I'm just going to do a 10-minute thing. And I go up and do some of the stuff I had worked on at the open mic last night at the Improv Bar. At 10 o'clock, they do an open mic. Some brand new stuff. Like, not ready at all because fuck it, it's a showcase. I'm just going to... I go up, I'm raspy as fuck. It's hit or miss. I'm okay with it. I leave. Tampa DJ, ex-Howard Stern legend Bubba the Love Sponge comes walking out to the bar. Barely recognizes me because he hasn't seen me since I lost weight. And he was in that show, and I'm just like, oh, great. Like, really? This fucking guy. I respect this guy. I've known this guy forever.
I can't believe I'm finally meeting my hero.
And he wants me to come on his show the next day. He's like, I love your stuff. Like, I remember you, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, I can't even talk. He goes on his show. He talks about me. We have a clip. We had
a great time Thursday with Gargiulo's deal, did we not? And we need to do that more often.
He's got one of these. It's a little nasally, but again, great radio voice. Just this very bassy.
Yeah, it's that old time. That's not like old time for me, which is a very 90s, like 80s and 90s radio voice.
Yeah. Oh, he's very old school radio. Mm-hmm. He's all about the wars and it's like it's like late 90s, early 2000s shit. Like Very, very terrestrial radio edgy.
So
Girls are calling in not wearing panties. Will you rub the phone on your crotch? Like that kind of like, ooh, we're edgy. Very weird.
I was so happy everybody was on time. And hey, Gargiulo, do you notice how nobody, I don't know other shows you've worked for, but do you notice how all my guys that were committed to being there were actually like 15 minutes early?
Yeah, I actually got a text message from my girlfriend that said it's pretty cool that when somebody says they'll show up to see you do something, they actually show up, because a lot of guys in the past I've worked for have said they'll go to things and then they never show.
Yeah, well, it was great. I really would like to talk or maybe have that black guy.
Rio Paris.
Rio Paris, he nailed it. And then the other guy I know, Patrick, I've known that guy for a while. He's a podcaster, and he used to be in touch with me. And that guy's lost like 100 and some pounds, the Patrick dude.
Oh, very cool.
And that's the two I liked. Well, we liked you, of course, as well.
What about the others?
Oh, they're all right.
Oh, very, very 90s also, because he's like got a 20-year-old intern who's like, yeah. I mean, basically playing my role.
But all terrestrial radio has this.
Mm-hmm.
He's moving into like online. He's starting to get it that like you chasing these terrestrial markets where you have to tell people every 20 minutes what time it is and what the news is. Like it just seems like a waste of shit.
I thought the headliner was a little. I thought the black guy or Patrick should have been the headliner, the last guy. Yeah, but you gotta.
Which is nuts because I did not do well. Like if you told me Bubba was in the crowd, then I would have got my shit together and done good stuff. Because I don't know when the last time he saw me is.
But he also can. There's a difference when you can hear somebody doing.
That's what he said. He's like, it's your cadence and your persona on stage. Like that's what's funny.
I went up. I did some on Saturday in Philly. Don't mean to brag. I did a.
Did Bubba talk about it?
Sad. It was something that's borderline cult part. It's like young. It was like a young professionals type event, and they wanted a comedy here. And we knew it was bad. It was me, 3 other comedians who are they're all super funny, and they was just like, look, I'm gonna get to hang out with them, and they were like, all right, we have 30 minutes for the 4 of you, and we're like, great, this will be easy. Like 30 minutes total.
Yeah.
For 4 people who all of us are capable of doing 30 on our own. It was Tom Brennan, who's got a show to pit. Daryl Charles, my good friend, who's he's whitely challenged, and Chip Chantry, super fucking funny guy.
Chip Chantry?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Chip Chantry's great. Sounds like a radio name. Yep. Sounds like a radio name.
Or a weatherman. Let's check out this weekend's forecast with Chip Chantry.
Exactly. Oof. It's not a stage name. It's like what everybody has called him since he was like
would name their
5.
kid Chip?
They didn't, but he's gone by Chip
Charles?
since he was like, what?
Is it Charles?
Nope.
Is it Chipicola?
Nope. Nothing to do with Chip. I don't know how he got it. His wife calls him Chip.
Is it any charcuterie?
His parents, no. Everybody calls him Chip. His wife, his brother. But he's the third.
I love that story, by the way. I've never wanted to punch a guy more than the Chip who doesn't know why. Everybody just calls me Chip. I don't know why.
I'm sure there's a story.
I want to end you.
I'm sure there's a story. I just don't know.
How does everyone call you that, but no one knows why? It'd be like if people called me Creole. Mostly because of my.
But we went up and
Louisiana roots.
It was good because it was like Tom Brennan went up first, and he had to host, and he had to basically
feel the energy get sucked out of the room. Like, boy, that Creole bit didn't go well.
Thank God you weren't on this fucking show.
Ooh, acknowledgement.
But he went up and he just took bullets for the other.
What's his name? Chip Chantry.
Chip Chantry.
Chaberker.
Look him up. He's super. He opens for Chappelle sometimes and Saget and a bunch of these. Like he's
sounds made up. Anyway,
opened for Louis when he was in Philly.
Really fun week.
Really fun week. No, but we did this show and it was just everybody was doing 7 minutes and I was just listed last. So we're just gonna go in that order. Hesky, you're last. And everybody just got the crowd a little bit more, and because I think a lot of them didn't know there was going to be a comedy show. They were just there there was an open bar.
There were wigs.
What?
there were wings.
Oh yeah. So we go and we're like, all right, we'll do
The
this.
comics suck, but our fajitas don't. Get in.
So Tom goes up, takes the bullet for all of us. We're like, I guess we're doing a comedy show, just so you know. And then Daryl went up and like got like half the audience, and then half the people there. And then Chip went up and got it to like 3/4. And then it was the point where like, look, I'm the last one. I get to basically just scream at them and call them assholes. And it was...
Yeah, it's called headlining.
Yeah, it was great. But I was still... But it was headlining for 7 minutes. Yeah.
Well, here's the rest of the Bubba clip, and then I'll tell you.
I had a point. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
I'm almost done with
I
this.
know an ounce of
six-pack.
anything. Sorry.
Yeah, the host guy was a little rough.
Yeah, the host guy was a little rough.
See, I don't know whether to send this to my friend Rafik. It was his show.
Need more confidence.
You know what? Maybe the reason why you're hosting so much, Gargiulo, is because you're so damn good at it. Like, I'm thinking maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe you could just increase the pay for the hosting deal, get you more money for that. You could be the highest paid host, because I've watched you host, and you're much better than that guy. Like, you transition.
Yeah, comedy clubs will be on board with that. We'll pay you more because you're better.
The one thing I got from Fazani's down
Hey, the crowd really likes you. There's a little something extra in your check.
But that's like the Canadian thing they do, where it's like the host is basically the feature, whereas like the host will do 20 minutes or so,
like if you
and
work
the feature does 8 to 10.
The
and then you
Hollywood
bring the
Improv, if you do a 10-minute set, you get $7.50 on a weeknight in an envelope, quarters.
Big,
covers your
heavy envelope.
parking.
Yeah.
And then if you do a 20-minute or between 10 and 20, you get $12.50. If you host the whole night, you get $35 because you got to be there the whole night. Now it all goes up a little on the weekends. $12.50 for the 10 minutes. You get $20 for the.
Wait, but who's hosting Hollywood Improv?
I've done it. Like
really?
Just you're in the rotation.
Holy shit!
What do you mean?
$7.50?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Because it's just shit.
Wait, you mean $7? $7.50.
And 50 cents in an envelope. Quarters and dollars. Loose. Good
Look,
luck.
I'm drinking.
By the way,
and
drinks
for
at
a
the bar are full price.
For a second, I really thought you were saying $750.
No.
They love the way I host.
No.
With my radio experience,
Yeah.
it's helped a lot. So
Also, I love Bubba Owns Me. Listen to the end of this.
Host, you know what? It doesn't matter what they call you or what role, as long as they start paying you some more.
just give me the money.
Right. So anyway, great job.
Thank you.
And
I
the black
appreciate it.
guy,
Thank you guys for everything.
The black guy and Patrick, I'd like to have.
Cool.
All right, thanks.
I'd like to have. So he wanted to get me on the show. I could
you
talk.
and the black guy.
Black guy's a local.
Who he said the co-host said the name earlier.
Is
And he's just
Rio
like-
Paris?
Yeah, and
is
he's like,
his
the
name?
black
He's
guy.
a local Tampa guy. He's very funny. And the headliner was Matt Fernandez, who's also very funny. I don't know if he had an off night. I didn't watch the set, but I talked to Bubba that night for a while, and he's like, let me give you my number. I was like, oh, I have your number. I'm sure it's like a Google Voice number or some shit. He's like, yeah, let me give you the real shit. So I got Bubba's real number, and we talked for a while. I'm gonna go back there when I get home and work on something. So I have. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Cool.
Something could happen.
Well, if you need a host, I charge $7.50.
We don't. We got a great one. He's the
$7.50,
best in the biz. He charges the most. If he charges the most, you know he's the best. If you hear my voice slurring, it's because it's working. Alcohol. I actually have a note here on my paper that says "Bang Bang Shooter, Bang Bang Shoot Senator." Was that made high? You think that's not a real note on my page? I'd like you to look right here. Bang Bang Shoot Senator.
Bang Bang Shoot Center and terrorist attack.
Yeah. I didn't want to get into this.
Yeah.
We missed a lot while I was gone. London is more unsafe than America now.
Kind of.
England is having a lot of shit popping off.
They had.
Good thing I'm not headed there for 3 months.
Well, way more people. Just don't stay in that fucking high rise. That's where all the people died.
We call that shot fire in the sky.
There were three terrorist attacks.
Two driving ones.
There was
a Detroit stabbing. There was a senator
Muslim
shooting.
terrorist attacks, and then one like against Muslims, and then there was a high rise that caught on fire because it was just like a shoddy building.
Right, and then there was one in
And
Flint, Michigan, at the
way more
airport
people-
where a guy yelled "Al Akbar" and stabbed a cop.
Yeah, and the guy
There was a shooting on a senator. We're losing our minds. Get it? Keep up with the latest shootings. Use your stylus.
I will.
We'll be burning this later in the show.
This
Stay
is my
tuned.
pinko liberal commie bullshit. I will just say.
Here we go with Hesky talk.
This 6-pack that I am pounding is way more dangerous than.
You know, when I get back, if I leave New York, we're gonna miss the Hesky wit. Will you come to Vegas and visit?
I'd love to. I'll come to Vegas.
You're not invited. But guys, if we could stay off topic. Off topic. Hesky, what happened? It was a joke. You're welcome.
I just, you know me. I'm sensitive.
Oh, I'm not racist anymore. That's true. I found this out. I'm not racist anymore.
I'm excited for you.
Do you know how I know? And this is true. Like, a lot of people will go like, I'm not racist. I was outside of my bodega waiting on a sandwich being made when I got home the other night. And a guy came up to me and he said, "It's my birthday." Old black man. Didn't man make it better? Yeah. Old black man was like, "It's my birthday. I'm out here just trying to enjoy it with a cigarette. Got a spare cigarette?" Now, normally I would have punched him and walked away. You know, back to my sandwich. But I didn't question him. I said, "He's telling me it's his birthday. I believe it. He's an old man. Have a cigarette." I gave it to him. He pulled out his wallet, showed me his ID voluntarily. Sure enough, $6.25.
Good for him.
And you know what? We shared that cigarette, and then he went back to whatever
Made
fucking
out.
slum black people live in.
So you're still a little racist.
It's called Crown Heights. It's Brooklyn, guys. Step up to it, Bed-Stuy. It's nice. So yeah, I'm not racist anymore. That's been a nice development.
I'm so glad I've had a good. I'm such a good influence on you. I'm just pulling you to left. That's what I'm doing.
My buddy Sean in Liverpool had his baby a month early.
Oh, hope
it's fine. It's a boy. Good. I think he named it Flannery or something dumb.
Sure. Well, it's like that thing of you know, there's those studies where if somebody has a name that is typical, like a more of a black sounding name, like Jeremetrius, that they will.
Jeremetrius.
That was a basketball player in the 2000s. Jeremetrius Butler, and it's my favorite name. Like that is two black names.
That
to
sounds
get,
like a real
it's
name.
White,
it could be a person.
One way, yeah, but I feel like there's some white parents who read studies that showed that if you have like a typical black name, it's harder to get a job. Like if they send the same resume to two places, and one has a white name, one has a black name, that they'll hire the white person way more than the black person.
Right.
But
because the black people steal staplers.
Yes. And yeah. That's why they can't work it. There's no black people at staples.com because they just steal.
Jesus. Now, what if we wrap this up?
What I'm just saying is that I feel like white people just go, or they're going all the way around to the other side. Be like, how white can I make my kid's name so he'll get a fucking job?
By the way, that woman with the new Verizon iPhone, 20 minutes into the flight, turns to me. She had scrolled to the bottom of her Facebook app, and it wasn't auto-loading any more posts. 20 minutes into the flight. Not exaggerating.
Into the flight, yeah.
She goes, "Hey, why isn't this?" I go, "'Cause we're in the fucking air." Just like that. I just go, "'Cause we're in the fucking air." Like, did she never have a... I wasn't teaching a woman how to use an iPhone. I was teaching a woman how to use a phone.
That's an old person thing. I had a woman at
Get out of town,
I had a woman
lady.
at work who's like somebody not related to my client, but somebody that I have to work with who deals with like their finance, like the money stuff. And she was like, I don't want to save it. I just want to download it, like a file that I had sent. And I'm like, well, that's I don't know. Like, don't make me explain this to you. Dip it in kerosene.
I think this means we're out of time.
I think so.
So I'm lighting the Stylus on fire. We will burn this. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Oh, what's the easier end to burn?
Neither.
Metal
Yeah.
What if I? Ooh.
Oh shit! The tip caught on fire.
Now we don't have sounds to play. I can't play like an outro music for the show.
Hot shit. Wait, what song do you? Wait. Oh, is that?
Fiction shit. No. What if we do an after show and pretend that that's the real show and we do topics?
I'm good with that. But you close with a Red Hot Chili Pepper song, right?
Sure.
Don't take them, count to get gone. I'll take them, count to get gone.
Under the bridge, I love. It's where I get my drugs. Under the bridge, my dad. It's where I touch my peen. Under the dad, I love. It's where I get my drugs. James Hesky. James.
Okay. Sorry, I was
James Hesky on Twitter, P Melt on Twitter, NLO on Twitter. Join the overdose. I know there's been a lack of stuff. I'm going to put the two Star Talk episodes I did, Star Talk podcasts, on the overdose feed. They're free to get. Anybody can go get those. Apologies again. I haven't had a voice. Like, if I could have talked, I would have been doing shows. PM in the AM tomorrow. Midnight show probably again tomorrow. And, just great times. Do the song.
to get to go.
Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication.